everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Friday and it is December 2nd. All right, a couple of meetings to tell you about. At 9:30 this morning, we had the third board agenda prep, and that will be in the Willow Room. And then at 10:30, we have the third appointment to VMS board, and that will also, well, actually, that'll be in the boardroom, so you can join along. All right, let's go ahead and tell you who's on our show. Well, we have Providence Mission Hospital with Dr. Abbas, and he has got some great information for us. Then we have Sports Corner with Cole Young, and then we have the Bicycle Club with Bob Figuera and Ian Sampson. And they're going to tell us all about their adventures and how you can become involved. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. Well, the rain has pretty much not shown up, so it won't be showing up now till evidently Sunday. But we are looking at Friday, 64-51, Saturday, 70-59, Sunday, 64-53 with AM showers, Monday, 64-47, and Tuesday, 63-50. Our travel weather, if you are traveling in the state of California or heading on over to Palm Springs or Big Bear, 62-49, San Diego 63-48, Santa Barbara 61-40, Palm Springs 68-48, Tahoe expecting snow 30-12, Big Bear 45-18, Mammoth also expecting snow 29-8, and Las Vegas 63-40. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:38, and our sunset will be at 4:42. And just as a reminder, the Golden Rain Foundation will have a meeting that's coming up on December 12th at 1 p.m. in Clubhouse 5. All right, when we come back, we will have Dr. Abbas, so stick around. Welcome back. Well, we have Dr. Ahmad Abu Abbas here, who is here on behalf of Providence Mission Hospital. Well, welcome. So nice to see you again.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to see you in person this time.
I'm glad you could visit us in our studio. This is great. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're very busy over there, and you know, there's a lot going on, and
Definitely.
I think people are, you know, you've got the holidays coming up, so you really want to make sure that you get everything in before then.
Of course.
So before we get into our subject matter, which is pancreatic cancer, I would like you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your background and how you got into this field.
Sure. I'm from the Middle East, and I came to the U.S. for training. I did general surgery, and I did then afterwards a fellowship in hepatobiliary surgery, which is liver and pancreas surgery in Detroit, Michigan. And I've been in Southern California since 2018.
Okay.
I'm the director of hepatobiliary surgery at Mission Hospital.
Okay. And so was there any particular incident or maybe an instructor or someone that sort of steered you in the direction in which you are now?
Of course. I mean, I always liked surgery, you know, in medical school. But then during my surgery training, I always was amazed by the liver and how complex those surgeries are. And I just also humbled by pancreas cancer and liver cancer. And I just wanted, you know, to do those cases and help those patients.
Right. Now, do you happen to have a statistic of how many people do get pancreatic cancer?
Sure. I mean, around 50,000, probably even more nowadays, maybe around 60,000 cases every year are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I think we've been seeing, I've been personally seeing it more often even in younger patients.
Really? Okay.
Sometimes in their 40s.
So what causes pancreatic cancer?
Like most cancers, we really don't know the exact reason. There are genetic and there's also some environmental causes. Basically, one normal cell goes crazy and starts dividing uncontrollably. And that forms a mass. And that mass basically causes alteration of the structures around it, causes pressure, and then those usually, they can split and go to different parts of the body.
Wow. And what is the purpose of our pancreas?
Well, the pancreas is a very important organ. you can live without a pancreas. Sometimes we actually remove the whole pancreas.
Wow.
But the pancreas has two very important roles. The first one is it secretes enzymes to help us digest food. So someone without a pancreas will need to take pills. Actually, we have the pancreatic enzymes in pills nowadays.
Oh, okay.
They need to take them with meals.
Okay.
The other thing, it secretes insulin. And another hormone called glucagon, which is actually does the opposite effect of insulin. So they balance the sugars in the body.
Oh.
So for someone without a pancreas, they will have a very, very, we call it a brittle diabetes, which is really very, their sugars can go down very quickly, or they can be super elevated. They'll have to live on insulin.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so those are really the two main
Now,
functions.
when someone is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, I think a lot of people think, oh, this is it. There's no cure. There's no help for me. How do you help ease those patients?
Sure. I mean, definitely when someone gets that diagnosis, and unfortunately sometimes I have to tell patients, most of the time as the surgeon, usually the patient comes to me already has been given the diagnosis. But a lot of times I see the patient, and honestly, most of the time, even before they get a biopsy, when you just see, when you talk to the patient and take the history from them, and when we do a CT scan, we know that that's cancer. So sometimes I have to deliver the bad news to them. And yeah, unfortunately, pancreatic cancer is a bad disease. It's very aggressive. I would say most patients succumb to the disease eventually.
I see.
It depends on the timing.
Right.
And on the stage of the cancer.
So is there symptoms with it?
That's one of the reasons pancreatic cancer is bad. Usually the symptoms start late, like when the cancer has already advanced. So the cancer starts inside the pancreas, and it's very tiny, and it's deep in the pancreas, and most patients go without symptoms until that cancer has grown enough where it pushes on other structures. So usually one of the first signs is patients. And I see a lot of those patients that come to me, someone in their 70s, and they have new discomfort or pain in the pancreas is in the upper abdomen area, right here. So they have new discomfort or pain in that area, or dyspepsia or reflux. And a lot of times for a couple months, those symptoms are dismissed, either by the patient themselves, you know, they ignore those symptoms, or sometimes they see their physician, and also, you know, like no one thinks pancreatic cancer if someone has a little stomach upset.
Nope.
So one of the really signs that are concerning, and they can happen, is when the bile duct is a tube that connects the liver to the pancreas. And when the tumor blocks the bile duct, there is backup of bile in the body, and then the patient's eyes turn yellow.
Okay.
Their urine turns dark.
Okay.
So those are one of the signs. So those are serious. When someone comes in with those signs, those are serious. Then weight loss. With most cancers, there is a weight loss, especially with pancreatic cancer. When there is severe pain, sometimes they have severe pain in that area, but also the pain, because the pancreas is all the way in the back, sometimes they experience back pain.
Okay.
So when there is severe pain, that's actually not a good sign. It means the cancer has grown significantly to cause pain in that area.
You know, is there anything in particular we can do to prevent pancreatic cancer?
I mean, we are starting to have some leads in genetic testing and like test individuals at high risk, but really those are a minority. We still have a lot of work to do. We're still very early. So unfortunately, at this time, for most patients, there is no screening per se, but hopefully we'll get there someday.
So if you suspect or if you diagnose somebody that does have pancreatic cancer, there's various treatments that they can do, right?
Of course, definitely. So the main potential for cure for someone who has pancreatic cancer to be cured is to have the cancer removed. Okay. So, and that's been the traditional way of treating those, is to do surgery. So someone gets imaging, we see that the tumor is still confined to the pancreas, it hasn't spread anywhere, and it hasn't involved major blood vessels that are in the area, then the patient usually undergoes a surgery. Got it. This surgery is, when the tumor is in the head of the pancreas, the surgery is called a Whipple procedure. That's a surgeon named Whipple who started this. This was a very morbid surgery when they started. They used to do it in 2 stages.
Oh boy.
And it had a very high mortality rate. Nowadays, the surgery has become more routine. And with time, we discovered that actually, even if the tumor is small, those patients already have pancreatic cells in their body. So they realized even if someone had a surgery for a small tumor, they come back months later with tumor elsewhere in the liver and different organs. So we added chemotherapy. So for everyone who has pancreatic cancer, nowadays almost everyone gets chemotherapy.
Got it.
There is, and since we think that pancreatic cancer is a systemic disease nowadays, even if it's small, there's ongoing research of giving chemotherapy before surgery. Actually giving chemo, sometimes giving some of the chemo, like splitting the chemo, giving chemo for 3 months, the actual cancer will shrink, and if there's any cancer cells in the blood, they hopefully will be killed with the chemo. Then the patient has the surgery, and then they receive some more chemo.
Oh, I see.
So hopefully there's some, and actually nowadays we have much better chemo for pancreatic cancer.
Right. Well, there a lot of this is related to the precision medicine that's been going on for so long now, where you can, I know they're doing that for breast cancer, where you can identify certain cancers, and it helps with that.
Definitely.
So that's awesome. One other thing I wanted to mention is that robotics, it really can help the surgery and the recovery, right?
Of course. So as I talked to you about the Whipple procedure, it's a very extensive surgery. The pancreas is surrounded by very important structures, surrounded by the duodenum, which is the first part of the intestine. There's the bile duct that enters the pancreas. So we have to cut all these together in one piece to remove the cancer.
Right.
And there are major blood vessels in the area, so that can make it a dangerous surgery. So for years, and still nowadays, most centers in the United States, they do the surgery via an open procedure. They make a big open incision in the belly, put their hands in there, and do the procedure. In the last few years, there has been an interest in doing the same procedure using a surgical robot.
Right.
The surgical robot basically is a machine. It doesn't, contrary to the belief, it's not like a robot, doesn't do anything itself. It's just like a machine that actually you can make few tiny holes in the body, put those instruments inside, and then you go sit as if you're driving a car, and you drive that machine. And, and the machine has a lot of advantages. First, you have small incisions, so the patient really recover faster. They don't have much pain.
Right.
It has 9 times magnification, and you can reach deep areas that it's even hard to reach with your own hands. And that really translates. So you can do the same, exactly same surgery. Instead of cutting a patient open, doing it through small incisions, patients do much better than the open procedure. They have less pain, less hospital stay. Those patients also, as I told you, they need to get chemotherapy, because even if they have the surgery, it's preferable to start chemo as soon as possible. If they have a big surgery and they have issues with healing, then that delays the chemo. And we don't want to delay the chemo more than 2 months after surgery, or else there is a risk of the cancer coming back. So the robotic approach has really made recovery faster. Patients are going back to, starting on chemo like within a month. I've been doing robotic Whipple procedure since 2020. So I was trained to doing it the open approach. The opens, that's how I learned it in training. But I jumped on the robotic as soon as 2015. I did a lot of robotic surgeries, and I've been doing robotic Whipples since 2020. We have a very big series by now. We've done a lot of those surgeries, and we help a lot of patients. Also, I've been actually going around the country teaching other surgeons how to do this approach robotically, because there is definitely evidence that it is a better surgery than the open, and everyone now wants to learn that approach, even older surgeons that have done it only open all their lives.
Well, as you mentioned, it's great recovery for the patient, and a little bit better for them in the long run. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And then maybe next time when you come back, we'll talk a little more about the genetic testing.
Sure, definitely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If you want more information about anything that we've discussed, you can certainly go to the website on the screen, which is providence.org/Mission Cancer, or you can call them at 949-364-1007. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I will get right into the action from this past week. There's no other way to start this show than to talk about the World Cup. On Tuesday morning, with the whole world watching, the U.S. men's national team earned its spot in the World Cup knockout stage after a very hard-fought 1-0 win over Iran in the most stressful Group B decider game. After the team failed to qualify for the World Cup back in 2018, this is their first appearance since 2014. Both teams knew a win would secure them a spot in the next stage, however, a draw would have eliminated the U.S. Christian Pulisic, also known as Captain America, would put the U.S. in the lead in the 38th minute of the match after a hard collision with Iran's goalkeeper. Just before the half, Timothy Weah would add another goal to the U.S. lead, however, by just the slightest of margin, it was determined that he was offside. In the second half of the match, Iran would start to pick up some momentum and had several scoring opportunities. In the extra minutes of the game, there were goals missed by inches, and the U.S. would just barely hang on to come out victorious. The U.S. will now move on to face the Netherlands this Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure to set your alarms and get up to see our team continue their run in this win-or-go-home match. Over in the other football world, the NFL is rapidly approaching playoff season. As I've said for a few weeks, there are a few clear-cut favorites like the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, 49ers, and Dolphins. And then there are some underdogs making last-second pushes to get into the postseason. The Lions, Saints, Falcons, and even Commanders are right on the edge of becoming playoff teams, and if they continue to win games, there's a strong chance they can sneak in. The Commanders are a very interesting team to follow. After starting the season with Carson Wentz at quarterback, who got injured in Week 6, Taylor Heineke has been at the helm for the Washington offense. Maybe this was the spark they needed, as they are now 7-5 and have won 6 of their last 7 games. As it stands now, Washington, as well as the entire NFC East, will make it to the playoffs, but their next games are crucial and difficult. And probably the biggest surprise of the year has been the Denver Broncos. After losing in embarrassing fashion to the Panthers on Sunday, the team is in turmoil and they have fallen to the bottom of the rankings along with the Texans and the Bears. Moving on. I finally achieved the impossible and I went 4-0 with my picks 2 weeks ago. I'm sitting at 25-11 now, which is just about 70%. Not too bad. Let's see if I can keep it up this week. Here are my 4 winners. The 49ers defense to earn them a win over the high-powered Dolphins, the Ravens to pick up an easy win at home against the Broncos, the Cowboys to add another win against the Colts, and to continue their hot streak, the Commanders over the struggling Giants. Although the World Cup will take priority over other sports this weekend, the college football conference championship games take place starting today. Here's the schedule lineup. The big one to watch is number 4 ranked USC, as they have made it to the Pac-12 championship game and will face off against Utah. A win in this game not only secures them a conference title, but will guarantee them a spot in the college football playoffs. This weekend has a whole lot of importance in the sports world, so tune in to root on your favorite teams, whether that's local, statewide, or nationwide. Happy December, everyone. I'm Cole Young, and I'll see you next week.
Welcome back. Well, I have 2 very special gentlemen here from the Bicycle Club. I have Ian and Bob. Well, welcome both of you to the show.
Good morning. Morning.
And they're wearing their green, just as I requested, so awesome. Kind of a green-yellow. So the Bicycle Club, I know you guys are calling it's the Silver Streaks. And, tell me a little bit about their history.
Well, we believe it started right after over the 2000, 2003 or 4. We have a roster back from 2005, and there's really nobody on that roster that's still around that rides bikes with us. So, but our president came in about 2005 or 6, and her name is Lorna, and I joined her in about 2010, and there was just us, and there used to be a Sunday rides, used to be big for the groups would get together and ride on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And then after that, Lorna and 2 or 3 of us started riding during the week. Now the club's involved too. We started, the original thing shows about 20 members. We're up to about 60, 65 members now.
Okay.
And our ages are from 62 to 86. So
Wow.
quite variety.
Yeah.
And all levels of ride. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. There's groups that ride 10 to 15 miles. There's groups that ride 20 to 30. Then there's a group of us like Ian and myself that we'll ride 100 miles a week, 80 to 100 miles a week every week. So, just go around. And we're lucky here. We live in Orange County. We have all the bicycle trails that are just spectacular. I mean, most of our riding is done off-road. We don't have to ride on the road. And when we do ride on the road, we ride on, there's a lot of bicycle lanes.
Yeah.
So I would say between bicycle lanes and off-road, we're probably 85 to 90% of our rides are off that, which makes it really nice. You don't have to worry about our safety and everything.
Well, exactly.
It works
And now you do probably run into a few walkers. And so how do you guys deal with that?
We just basically, whoever's the leader, and just as you come on and you just talk to them and say there's bikes on your left or bikes on your right, and and I think more than the walkers are the people with dogs are the ones that are really bad if they don't have that on the leash, and you make sure you get them in. That's our worst thing probably.
Now we're looking at a picture that looks as though you guys were out by the Back Bay.
That's right.
So tell me about that ride.
The Back Bay ride is our Friday ride as a rule. I beg your pardon, our Monday ride.
Okay.
Our Monday ride, we leave from Los Lisos and we ride down to Back Bay. Beyond Back Bay, we'll go as far as Huntington Beach.
Okay.
And occasionally Sunset Beach and further.
Oh, wow, that is a far ride.
Yeah, it averages about 40 to 45 miles.
Okay. That is a long ride. Now, before the last few years, you guys were riding regular, were they dirt bikes or, that you could ride, like trail bikes, or were they the kind that you would ride on the street?
No, we've always had street bikes. And for the most part, our street bikes are lightweight, regular bikes with drop-down handlebars, although a few of us have bikes that are more upright.
Okay. And now what we're looking at, is this more of an assisted, you said it's an assisted bike, it's not a full riding bike?
No. Just personally, I ran into problems about 3.5 years ago getting pain in my leg, particularly when I went up a steep hill or ran into strong headwind. And rather than give up cycling, I bought an electric assist bike.
Okay.
And what that does is allows me to ride like a regular bike for the most part, except when I hit a strong headwind or where I have to go up a hill, I can dial in as much power as I need to overcome the discomfort that I have in my leg.
Okay.
And allows me to ride with people at any speed that they choose.
Oh, okay, but you're still pedaling.
I pedal, I get pretty much 90% of the exercise that I would normally get with a regular bike.
Okay, that sounds great. I mean, it gives you, like you said, you don't want to quit. You want to keep going, and I would imagine more and more people over time. I mean, they're so popular all over the place with not just the riding ones. I mean, I think those were the first ones people got, and now they get the full assist ones where you don't have to do anything.
Correct.
You don't even have to pedal anymore.
Yeah.
The kids come down on the ones like a motorcycle on the bike trails, and those are the ones that are the most dangerous.
Yeah, it can be. All right, so let's find out, when are your rides? So we already found out Monday you're doing Back Bay. What about the other days?
Yeah, we ride 4 times a week. We've stuck to our original Sunday ride, which tends to be a little slower, and it is basically designed for people who are not pushing quite as fast.
Okay.
We have some young riders who will average 20 miles an hour on the road. Hard to keep up with on a Sunday. So we ride Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
More of an ad hoc. We do have designated rides, but our Sunday ride is a traditional ride, and the dates and places that we take off and where we ride to are on our website.
Okay.
So people who are interested in joining us can find out on the website where the rides are, where they start, and where they end.
Okay, good. And then let's talk a little bit about membership. So is there membership?
Well, we don't have membership fees. We just, through word of mouth, they learn about our president and the website that he set up, and then they'll call somebody and we talked to them about that. But just as far as having a membership fees or meeting anywhere, no,
Right.
it's all, we just have fun bicycling and we bike. We do have an annual picnic once a year, and that's it. But otherwise, everything is just bicycling.
And your annual picnic you had in August, and
In
then you'll have it
August.
again next August, or this August?
Yes, we have it
Okay.
we have it in a regular spot at Dana Point Harbor.
Oh, okay.
We eat pizza, eat watermelon, and a lot of camaraderie. Everybody turns up with a big smile on their face.
Nice. And then you're going to be part of the Village Games, right?
We have been traditionally. Usually we award gold medals for people who do 100 miles.
100
Okay,
miles.
wow.
50 miles you get a bronze medal, and
Right.
25 miles you get a silver medal.
That is great. That is great. And then what is your website?
The website is on the village website.
Perfect.
So it's nothing that we put up ourselves. It's not hosted by the village. All
Okay.
people have to do is look up the bicycle club and they'll find us.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you. Is there anything I missed?
I think you've done a good job. You know? We've traveled along a bicycle, you know, done a lot of miles over a period. I average about 5,000 miles a year. And just
Oh my
ride
gosh.
bikes around here, and
Yeah.
I said it's really nice. We have a very enjoyable time. We have a great club. Boys, girls, men, women, it's a mixture of everything,
Okay.
and everybody rides. We all ride together. Doesn't matter
It
who you
sounds-
are or what you.
I do almost as many miles on my bicycle as I do in my car.
Wow. Well, that is impressive. That is very impressive. Well, congratulations on that, and thank you
you.
so much for sharing the information.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks
We
for
really
having us.
appreciate the opportunity.
We will have you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want more information about the Silver Streaks Bicycle Club, you can always go to the website, and that's the LagunaWoodsVillage.com, and you just look up the Bicycle Club. We'll be right back. Our Friday movie for you today is called Mystic River, and that does star Sean Penn, brought to you by Providence Mission Hospital. Okay, a couple of announcements. Of course, I keep telling you about the toy drive, and that is going on right now. Holiday toy drive at ocfa.org/toy drive. And then tomorrow is the big fun tree lighting that they're going to be having over at Clubhouse 1 from 6 to 7 p.m. And please bring a new unwrapped children's gift for the toy drive there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. We are looking at skies that, you know, we thought we were going to have some rain, but it still hasn't arrived. So 64-51 tomorrow, 70-59. Sunday showers, 64-53, 64-47, 63-50. And then if you're traveling, take a look at these numbers. Beaches are in the 60s with overnights in the 40s. The mountains are chilly with overnights 12, 18, and 8 Burr, and there is snow. So if you're heading up that way, make sure you check those travel advisories if there happens to be any. All right, have a great day in the Village. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.